现场的各位贵宾、各位师长，以及在线上收看直播的所有的观众朋友们，大家午安，大家好。那么在今天最后一个场次的国际观点讲座，我们特别邀请到了以色列海法大学校长 Prof Ron Robin 以及海法大学的 Prof Ofer Arazy 来分享促进大学永续机会与挑战。那么在本场次当中，我们也特别邀请到了东海大学的张国恩校长以及东海大学的刘正副校长来为我们主持本次的国际讲座。那么首先就让我们用掌声来欢迎东海大学刘正副校长，掌声欢迎。
Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zheng Liu, the Vice President of Donghai University. I'm very happy and honored to chair this section. This section is quite meaningful because Haifa University's president and the distinguished professors will share their views, their ideas, and their promoting process with SDGs with us. But first of all, let's welcome Donghai University's president, Dr. Zhang Guoen, to give us the opening remarks. President Zhang Guoen just came back from the United States, so he is still in the quarantine. 校长 welcome home.
Okay, thank you. Since I have just returned from the United States, I'm currently in self-management in Hong, so I cannot attend a meeting on site. I can only report to you online. Donghai University is a school that attaches great importance to USR and the sustainable development. It has also set up two offices to develop USR and SDG, each chaired by two vice presidents. It also performed outstanding in these two aspects in recent years. The same, Haifa University also attached great importance to the development of the SDGs and has achieved many good results in Israel. The President of Haifa University, Dr. Robin, also attached great importance the effort in this area. I'm very honored to invite the President of Haifa University to give a video recording speech today, and I also invite responsible Professor Arazy of Haifa University to give us a speech on the SDG plan. And let's get a clearer picture of how the University of Haifa have implemented this sustainable efficiency. So I'm good and honored to hear the Professor Arazy about the speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My name is Ofer Arazy. I'm a professor at the University of Haifa. But before I begin my presentation, I would first like to thank the Donghai University for this opportunity, for the benefit of Taiwan-Israel relations. And I would also like to thank in person Mr. Wang, the president of the University of Haifa Friends Association in Taiwan. So thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity. And in this short presentation, I'll try to give you a bit of a description of what we did over the past year at the University of Haifa in promoting the UN's SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. So first, let me just a brief introduction about the university. Haifa is the third largest city in Israel. It's in the northern part of Israel. sits on the Mediterranean Sea, has a nice pole, as you can see in the picture. It is a research-intensive university, the most pluralistic institution in higher education in Israel, and Haifa has always been a preeminent example of a big city. Haifa is home to Jews, Muslims, Christians, Baha'i, and Druze. The university was founded in 1963, received full accreditation in 1972, and today offers degrees in undergraduate, graduate, PhD studies in 7 faculties: education, humanities, law, social sciences, social welfare and health sciences, and natural sciences and marine sciences. And what you can see that is missing, engineering and medicine are missing. You don't have. I am sharing the slides. Are you not seeing my slides? Let me try to share again. Okay. Can you see the slides now? Yes, thank you. So you can see the University of Haifa. The picture is a bit deceiving because we're situated at the top of a mountain, top of Mount Carmel, and below you can see the Po and the Mediterranean Sea. So this is the background. I've mentioned again that our strengths are in the humanities, social sciences, education, wellness, and well-being. We do not have engineering or medicine at the University of Haifa. So if you look at what we have and the positioning of the university, we have a focus on human and the humanities, on society and the environment. And about a year ago, or a little over a year, we have a new administration at the university, and they were looking for a strategic positioning. And looking at the strength of the university, and you can see here, this is just kind of, I'll show you different statistics based on publications and based on grants. This is a comparison to other universities in Israel. We usually excel in humanities, education, social sciences, wellness, and well-being. So these are our strengths. Now, if you look outside the university and what's happening in the world, we are all aware of the challenges that the globe and humanity is facing. This is a quote from Sadhguru. Some of you may have heard of him. In pursuit of human well-being, we have to rip the planet apart. So when the university decided to take SDGs and sustainability as a roadmap, we had 2 things facing us. One is the challenges that we are all aware of, and the second one was the strategic positioning. We thought that this particular lens of the SDG would emphasize the strengths of the University of Haifa. Again, the goal of this plan, the sustainability plan, was strategic on one hand and conscious, or consciousness on the other hand, trying to promote the values of that the UN has set for us. And this is the first higher education institute in Israel to place the UN's 17 SDGs as its roadmap. The faculty of the administration continues to extend the institution's commitment to human, societal, and environmental challenges. And we are lucky because we are situated in a unique geographical area. I've mentioned before that the main campus is on Mount Carmel, so we're in the middle of a natural reserve, the Carmel Mountaintop Natural Reserve. We have a downtown campus, where the students we integrate with the urban aspects, and we have labs along the Mediterranean. This is our marine sciences operations. So this unique setting served as for the research and education that we have as a university. Now, when you ask yourself, what does it mean for a university to adopt the SDGs? So we came to this, I'd say, a little bit ignorant in the sense that we wanted to study, we wanted to look at what other universities are doing, and we spent a few months visiting universities both in Europe and in North America, speaking to colleagues that have adopted a similar plan at Australian universities, again European universities, and after compiling all of this information, we set a plan that has 4 channels of operations. We want to implement SDGs through research at the university, through learning in students, through our public engagement, and through operations. And I can tell you just a little bit about what we did at each one of these channels. Let's start with the research. So we launched this year 3 interdisciplinary research hubs. Each hub deals with research, to a lesser extent with teaching and with public engagement. And it is interdisciplinary. People come from different faculties. One hub is focused on inequalities. You can link it to SDG 10 if you like. The other one is focused on brain and behavior. And the third one on climate and the environment. So these 3 hubs are the main channels for the university to promote sustainability in research. Now, in order to orchestrate the advancement of the sustainability efforts, we set up a new division, the division that I'm heading is the Division of Innovation and Sustainability, and it fosters cross-organizational communication, decision-making, collaborative implementation of the university's plan. So basically, it is like another strategic initiative. There's a major effort that runs very wide across the university and deep. And in order to implement the SDGs into all of our activities, means that a lot of coordination is needed. And we need to make sure that everybody speaks in the same voice, everybody understands the importance of sustainability and the SDGs. And we need to communicate it through all the departments. And of course, the easiest way of aligning everyone is through incentives. So we had different sets of incentives for both research and the educational offerings to try to make sure that we emphasize everything sustainability related. For example, around research, we had some internal grants that we've given to research related to sustainability. In the educational offerings, we opened new programs around the social aspects of sustainability and the environmental aspects and the economical aspects. And we want to make sure that every student is exposed to these grand challenges of humanity. Not only the people that take, let's say, earth sciences as a major. Every student can get exposed to these challenges and to the solutions that allow them to offer. So this is the second channel, learning with students. The third one is public engagement. And we strongly believe that academia should not get stuck in the ivory tower, that we have a third role beyond producing new knowledge as research and teaching and skilling the students. That is the second goal of a university. But a third goal that is often forgotten is to influence society more directly. There are many different ways in which faculty and students affect society and the environment. For example, by sitting on committees, on national level committees, international level, some of the UN's committees, and influencing decision making. We can take students to get involved in underprivileged communities in the downtown area. There are many different ways in which we can 10 goals and environmental goals. So that is public engagement, and the fourth and last avenue for our activities is on-site operations, meaning that everything that happens internally at the university, we believe that we have to lead by example, so we cannot talk about sustainability and use redisposable plastic cups and cutlery and so on. We have to conserve energy, we have to use solar power internally at the university. We've started allocating more and more funds toward this goal. We've only been in this strategic initiative for a year, but we're already seeing the fruits of our investments. And you can see here, this is a part of the university SDGs report, and we have such one page for each one of the SDGs, and you see the way the report is organized according to these four avenues of operations: research, learning students, public engagement, and operations. So everything that we do is organized around these activities, and the division of operations, of innovation and sustainability coordinates all of these activities. Just very briefly, some of the activities that we performed over this past year. So we established the Sustainability Council, and the idea was to make teams of the operations and the administrative staff together with students and with research staff, where each team is tackling one aspect that pertains to on-site operations. For example, recycling at the university, using sustainable energy, and so on. So that was one action. We founded sustainability-related research, 18 new projects, promoted sustainability-related learning by developing new courses, opening new programs, encouraged public engagement through what we call impact projects, which we funded. Some examples: accelerated university efforts toward carbon neutrality. We're now in the process of calculating the university's carbon footprint through a consulting company that will be the basis for a long-term plan to reduce our carbon footprint, and hopefully within a couple of years will be net zero. We're looking at scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3 in terms of the impact of the university. Raise awareness both on and off campus for the university's commitment to the UN's goals. Many examples to that, but the idea is that everyone at the university speaks with one voice. And finally, constructed SDG measurements and reporting process. I'll show you some of the results that we achieved just recently. This has been a major undertaking, because the reporting and measurement of the SDG, at least we work with Times Higher Education. I think this is the most reputable entity that now evaluates universities based on the extent to which they align with the SDGs, and we perform quite well on this. I'll show you in a second. So gradually, the University of Haifa establishes itself as a global leader in terms of sustainable development. Some statistics to support this statement. So this is the comparisons between Israeli universities in terms of just research. We looked at sustainable development. We used Google Scholars categories. You can see here comparisons based on different metrics in different years, comparisons to other universities in Israel. And you can see that the University of Haifa is a leader in Israel, leading the other universities that might be you might have heard of, the Hebrew University, Tel Aviv University, and others. Haifa is in the lead. And that is just Israel. If you look at it globally, as mentioned, that we participated in Time Higher Education ranking. Let me show you some of the results. This is a summary. So, for example, We reported on 9 of the SDGs this past year, so we have the results for just 9. So for example, in SDG 3, we were ranked 84 worldwide. About 1,500 universities participated in this effort, including some well-known universities, MIT, NYU, UCL in England, and so on. And when you get a score, for example, rank number 84 for SDG 3, this synthesizes our performance in terms of research, learning in students, public engagement, and operation. So the overall score was 84, education SDG 4, we were ranked within the top 50 worldwide, so on, gender equality, top 55 worldwide, SDG 8, 68, SDG 10, reducing inequalities within the top 100 worldwide, SDG 11, roughly 30, life below water, SDG 14, again top 100, same for SDG 16, and so on. SDG 17 dragged us down a little bit, and I think that we have some technical problems in reporting. Hopefully this will be fixed this year, and we're hoping to be ranked even higher. We just completed the process this past Thursday. We submitted our rankings for Times Higher Education yet again. I can add a little bit more information about this process, but I can also leave it for questions. But just one thing about how this works. So the research component for each SDG is calculated automatically by Times Higher Education, and they work with Elsevier. They count the publications out of the universities. They associate publications with SDG, and the research score is done independently by Times Higher Education. It's nothing that we do. But for the rest of the channels, the learning with students, public engagement, and operations, this is based on our answering questions, hundreds of questions, very detailed questions, and providing evidence for each one of these questions. And then the Times Higher Education team runs the university. So this is very, very briefly what the University of Haifa is about, what we did over this past year. We believe that this is just the beginning. We're hoping to do more and more better for the world and for humanities. Through this, we also emphasize the strengths of the universities and use this as a strategic positioning. So this is pretty much my presentation, and I'm happy to open the floor now to questions. Let me see if I can unshare the screen.
Wonderful. It was a great talk. We do appreciate Professor Ofer Arazy's speech. He shared the opportunities and the challenges for promoting sustainability of University of Haifa. To my knowledge, Professor Arazy is too modest. Professor Arazy got his PhD degree from the University of British Columbia in Canada. And as a matter of fact, he is the key person to promote sustainability development goals for Haifa University. And he is now serving as the Director of Innovation and Sustainability at Haifa University. As Professor Arazy has mentioned, Haifa University focused on SDGs related to research hubs, including inequalities, brain and behavior, climate and environment. Haifa University also established Division of Innovation and Sustainability and the Sustainability Council. I'm quite excited because Donghai University prioritized SDGs for the university development plan. For example, Donghai University has received many national awards for our persistent collaboration with our neighbors to revitalize the Donghai River, Dongdaxi. With support from Taichung City, Donghai University was able to turn the underutilized river into a riverside walkway. When President Zhang Guoen took office in February this year, we established the Office of Sustainability Development and launched our Smart Zero project. Hopefully, we will have the chance to show you the site on campus. In the meantime, we are integrating SDGs into our curriculum to provide experiential class to our students. So I'm very, very sure that we will be able to share the views and work together to improve sustainability development in the near future. Before we open the floor for questions and comments, let's take 2 minutes to look at the video recorded by the president of Haifa University. Please.
It is so nice to have the opportunity to speak on the USR Forum here from the heart of the University of Haifa campus. Thank you so much for inviting me. So, the University of Haifa, as you know, has established a strong relationship with Donghai University through the offices of CY1. We have a series of cooperative events recently. One of them is a joint MBA program, Green MBA. As you know, sustainability is an issue of cardinal importance for all of us, as demonstrated right now during COP27. The University of Haifa here in Israel is a leader in sustainability. We are deeply committed to the SDGs, and we treasure this opportunity to work with Taiwan on this important subject. Taiwan is a great nation, and we have so much in common between Israel and Taiwan. So we, as a university, we are honored to share our experiences on SDGs. We look forward to working with Taiwan, and in particular, Donghai University, to facilitate this dialogue. We hope jointly we can become the innovators and leaders in this field, setting a role model for the world. Thank you so much for this opportunity to talk to you.
Okay, as we have heard, let me introduce a special guest to you all, Mr.黄齐元, the president of the Lianda company, also is the director of the Smart Transformation Center of Donghai University, and as a matter of fact, is the initiator of the Ocean Alliance. Mr. Huang helped a lot to make this international seminar come true. He is also working on some projects related to today's meeting, such as Green TI, that means Green Taiwan and Israel. Let me ask Mr. Wang to give us some comments and suggestions first. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Liu, and thank you, Professor Arazy. Let me briefly introduce myself. My name is C.Y. Wang. I am an alumnus of Donghai University. I graduated in 1982 from Donghai in the business administration, and let me share with you my the association with Israel, because I've been doing business with Israel for 8 years, and Israel. I help various Israel institutions. So 3 years ago, one of the representatives of University of Haifa approached me, and then I thought, why don't we cooperate together? So I initiate for Donghai University and University of Haifa to become sister colleges. But unfortunately, in the last 2 years, due to the COVID-19, we couldn't have a physical event. But in June, in the summer, in July this summer, we finally had a group of students visiting Haifa. Let me share with you. Next. So Haifa, I was approached by the USR Expo to see how we can work with the University of Haifa to share some experiences. You have just heard Haifa is the leading university in Israel and probably also in the world in the field of SDG. They have many, many categories next. 下一页。So these are the 18 categories that you just heard from Professor Arazy. In probably 12 out of the 17, and their ranking is quite high. Next, these are 下一页, and these include no poverty. Actually, I want to emphasize one thing. USR social responsibility is so much in common with SDG, sustainable the development goal. Because it is not just green. 下一页. It is not just green energy like zero hunger. This is food. Donghai is very strong in our biology department. 下一页. And the good health and well-being. We have a health program in Donghai. 下一页. And quality education, Donghai and Haifa, our education department ranking all very high. 下一页. Gender equality, they are very important social issues in Taiwan as well as in Israel. 下一页. Water. One of the reasons I work with University of Haifa is it's next to Mediterranean, so I form a 海洋联盟. Mediterranean Asia Marine Alliance, 地中海亚洲海洋联盟. So they have 5 departments in ocean. So ocean water, we are doing a lot of collaboration on ocean. 下一页. Affordable clean energy, so that's everybody talk about. And later I will say we have one 海浪发电 project currently working with Israel. 下一页. Decent work, economic growth. 下一页. The infrastructure, I work in particular with University of Haifa on their the Carmel, 他们的校企，这个是 promoting a startup innovation. 下一页. Reducing inequality. 下一页. Sustainable cities， 刚才那个刘副校长讲到说，这跟我们附近的东大西的整治就跟这里有关。下一页。Responsible consumption， 这跟食物有关，吃的啊。下一页。Climate action， we just had COP27， very important. 下一页。Water is one of the strengths of University of Haifa, as I just mentioned earlier. 下一页。Life on land, the forest, Israel's desert, so desert water. Israel, 我去年的话跟以色列办了一个水资源的一个论坛。下一页。这个 Peace, Justice, Strong Initiative， 这个是包容性社会。下一页。最后的 Partnership for the Goal。OK， 最后的话我用2分钟的时间。下一页。That talk about the recent. I'm starting with 我在做了好几个 project， 其中一个是台以永续联盟啊，这个叫 Green Tea， 你听起来的话就是绿茶。Green Tea, T stands for TI, Green Taiwan and Israel. 这个是台湾跟以色列一个最大的一个永续联盟的计划。以色列是全世界的永续的领导的国家啊，我们台湾呢很荣幸能够跟以色列合作，我们觉得很多地方要跟他学习。这并不只是绿能，各位要特别注意，从刚才里面讲起来，这并不只是绿能，这包括了像这个食物啦，这包括医疗啦，这包括教育啦，包括社会学，每一个领域都是动态很强的。下一页。海法大学刚才已经讲1963年，我看到了当时为什么这2个大学连在一起，因为都是他今年刚50年的校庆啊。东海有16000人，海法18000人。下一页。这是我最后一页，就我们的在今年的话，暑假完了以后呢，我们推出第1个双联学位，台以永续双联 MBA， 要强调新创、绿色、永续，这是全台湾第1个的program focusing on sustainability 新创跟永续。那我们成立一个台语永续双联 MBA 欢迎各位的同学到里面去。但是重点呢不是，as Professor Arazy just said, sustainability is not just a course, it is a collaboration, it is an ecosystem across every area, from the faculty research, from student, from public engagement, and from on-site projects. So all of these lined up together. So we are building the preeminent link and the cooperation bridge between Taiwan and Israel, focusing on sustainability. And I'm very glad to facilitate this. I hope this is the beginning for many, many more exciting things to come. Thank you.
Thank you, President Huang. Okay, let's open the questions and comments for our today's speech. Any questions? Yes, please.
education part.
Education.
Then you will flip the class and transform the traditional teaching to current, updated teaching. So do you have any teaching strategy to flip student mind and also teacher's mind? And how do you measure the outcome from your transformation? Thank you.
Professor Arazy?
I'm guessing that this question is intended for me, yes?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So this is an interesting question. We know with a very large organization, we have roughly 16,000 students at the university, many courses and faculties, different programs. It's very difficult to change throughout. We, of course, believe in experiential learning, problem-based learning, project-based learning, where teams of students engage with real problems, go out to the field, meet the challenges, learn the complex context, either around environmental issues or around societal issues, and then work with faculties. And we've opened a few new programs where we try to implement this new global approach, but I'll be honest and say that it will take a long time to implement that throughout the universities. Because we're talking here about two things. One is the topic itself, topic of sustainability, environmental, social challenges, and the other is the method, the pedagogical method. So in terms of the topic, I think that we're moving faster in terms of infusing these topics into the curriculum, either into existing courses, offerings, or opening new ones. In terms of pedagogy, it takes longer, and hopefully we'll see more and more of this experiential project-based learning, more and more courses and programs at the university.
Thank you, Professor Arazy. Any other questions or comments? Yes, please.
Yeah, Professor Arazy, it's very exciting to hear your sharing. Thank you very much for that. I have just one question from the talk you just gave. Obviously, University of Haifa has achieved a lot. Out of the 17 goals of SDG. I want to ask you, in what areas that you achieve most progress, and in what other areas you had the most setback or facing challenges, and how and do you plan, to resolve those challenges in the future? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for this interesting question. And maybe I'll start with saying that the strengths of the universities in the humanities, the social aspects, the environmental are not new. These were strengths over the many years. The SDG just offered us a new lens, a new packaging to put all this together. It's almost as though you were looking at what a University of Haifa is with a blurred picture, and then you take a telescope and you zoom, and suddenly you see everything sharp. So many of these areas are areas where we had strengths before, but through the sustainability initiative we put more funds into them. Now, the main strengths are marine sciences. Marine sciences, we have a big program, a big research team, and I think it's a leader globally. In terms of wellness and well-being, when we map out research at the university to the SDGs, about half of the research activity could be associated with SDG 3, wellness and well-being. It's a major step for the university. Even with that, and I'm talking about research in the faculty of wellness and well-being, but also in other faculties. In the faculties of education and social sciences, a lot of research relates to SDG 3, so this is clearly a key strength. And maybe the last one I mentioned is around the issues of poverty, inequalities, the social aspects, again, the university is very, very strong. And I've mentioned before the pluralistic nature of the university, where we have about 40% of the population is Arabs, and we have Jews and Christians and Muslims. So for years, the university has played a key role in integrating underprivileged groups and minorities into Israel's society through education. So this, I would say, are key strengths. There are some areas where we have less activity. Naturally, since we don't have engineering, when we talk about clean energy, for example, we have some activity, but not as much as other places. So these are the strengths and maybe weaknesses of the university. In terms of challenges, I found that the greatest challenges, and I'll mention two. One is not specific to our sustainability initiative, is to do any strategic initiative. If you want to move an organization as complex as a university with thousands of employees and students, it's like a big ship. If you want to turn it maybe 2 degrees, let's say to the right, to the left, you have to spin the steering wheel maybe 300 times. It's a lot of effort making sure that everybody is on board and coordinating with all the different units, academic units, administrative staffs, operations, everybody that's teaching, everyone that's communicating the university to the outside, external relations, marketing, the spokesperson's office, and so on. So that is one major challenge, making sure that everyone is on board. Maybe I'll mention one other challenge, and that is we wanted to emphasize public engagement. We thought that it's very important for our faculty and students to engage with society at large and try to influence more directly. Of course, the research has an impact because engineering things and research and so on, but it takes time. But we wanted to encourage faculty to serve on committees, influence decision making, to work with NGOs, with government offices, and so on. And some of the faculties got pushback. Some of the faculty resisted this, the university ethos of basic research, and some view engagement with the public as something that is of lesser importance and something that takes away from core research. So we have a bit of pushback, and we had to work a lot with the Dean of Research and the Vice Presidents and the Deans, and to convince them that promoting sustainability and promoting public engagement does not go against core research. That core research can benefit from engaging with society and the public. Just very briefly, these are kind of challenges, and of course, I mentioned them here in 2 sentences. You can understand that underneath there's a lot of complexities.
Sure, thank you. Thank you, Professor Arazy. Any questions or comments? Yes, please.
Yes. Hello. Hi. Shalom, Professor Arazy. I have a question. That in Taiwan, the Ministry of Education has organized a University Social Responsibility Expo, and there is this University Social Responsibility Center. I'm wondering whether in Israel, the Ministry of Education is also having this kind of initiative, trying to put all the universities in Israel together, trying to push social responsibility and SDG. And another question that I have is that how University of Haifa is going to further its cooperation with Donghai in regard of the SDG development. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe I'll start with the second question first, because my answer will be shorter, is that we are sitting together and discussing the different ways of collaboration. I don't have anything concrete to announce at this moment, so I think it's a little bit premature, but as soon as we have the plan materials materialized, we would be happy to share them. Going back to the first question about the role of the Ministry of Education in terms of pushing universities to adopt the SDGs and more generally their responsibility to society, to the environment. So interestingly, when we started this initiative at the University of Haifa, this was in the absence of any kind of a general plan by the Ministry of Education. But over this year, the Ministry of Education in Israel too has realized the importance of climate crisis, species extinction, land, water, all of the challenges that we're familiar with, environmental aspects and the inequalities, poverty and so on, in social issues, and decided to promote sustainability. It was perfect for us because we were already 2 steps ahead, and the way the Ministry of Education promotes this, one way is through a forum with the different representatives from the universities, organizing activities. For example, just past week we had the COP, the COP 2022 global meeting with all the world leaders in Egypt, in Sharm el-Sheikh, not too far from Israel. And the Ministry of Education has organized a delegation from all the universities in Israel to come and present their sustainability-related research. But what is most important is funding. And every 5 years, the Ministry of Education that funds the universities, they come up with a plan, 5-year plan, and side of the ongoing funding that they provide the universities, they choose a topic, one topic, and they put a lot of money around this topic, and they announce a competition. A competition between universities, and this year is key theme for the 5-year program is sustainability and sustainable development. It has not been announced just yet. It should be announced any day now, but we already know the information. And of course, this information linked to universities. So now you see all of Israeli universities now starting to first promote sustainability, but also to present themselves as leaders in terms of sustainability. Different avenues. Some universities emphasize what they do internally, internal operations, others education offerings, teaching, and so on. But the Ministry of Education is playing a key role through funding by putting this as the #1 topic for the 5-year program. All of the universities are going to go in that direction because this is where the money is.
Okay. Thank you, Professor Arazy. Again, we thank President Ron Robin and Professor Arazy's help and sharing. Whenever you get a chance to visit Taiwan, please do let me know. I promise you will be treated very well. Right? Also, I thank President Huang for your help and taking the time to join us today. For all of us, for all the online and offline audience, thank you for your participation. And we will stop this section here, and may you all have a nice weekend. Thank you.
谢谢，让我们再次以掌声，谢谢我们的刘副校长 ，Thank you so much, Professor Arazy。也同时谢谢我们的黄总裁以及现场我们每一位与会的长官、贵宾，还有我们的师长们。同时也非常感谢在线上共同参与的每位好朋友。那么我们要非常感谢您的莅临本次的 Expo， 超过了50场精彩的活动，在计划团队以及 USR 师长们的共同参与下，汇聚累积丰硕的果实。